Probably two things that I would point to that are very interesting and definitely, take advantage of lots of innovation. First and foremost is the recently announced reimage and reinvention of our biggest business, Holiday Inn. Just to put that into context, we have between Holiday Inn and Holiday Inn Express better than 3,000 hotels around the world. And a pipeline that numbers just under 1,000 new hotels coming in around the world. Big position. More people sleep in a Holiday Inn bed than any other hotel branded bed in the world every single night. As good as all that stuff is, it's not as good as it needs to be. And we've been on about a 7-8 year journey of lifting standards, removing hotels that don't perform, that don't comply with our quality expectations, that the guest has basically said just doesn't represent the brand, doesn't appear to be capable of representing the brand. So we've gone down that path. We introduced a new build Holiday Inn, which pays homage to all of the requirements that a guest would say have to be in a Holiday Inn. So you have to have a restaurant, a meeting space, a swimming pool, and some exercise space, comfortable guest room, all that's there. And in addition to that, we simplified the operating model, made it less expensive to build for the owner, less expensive to operate, so the guest experience ends up being better overall. And that in tandem with now this recently announced reimaging, where we've completely reshaped the logo, restyled and redesigned with a lot of engagement from our loyal stayer base to understand where they would give us license to do that. We're now in the process of putting that in place. And the pathway to get this new identity, it isn't just slap up a new sign. It's a very deliberate pathway. Each hotel has to achieve a certain level of overall satisfaction on the heels of a very intense quality evaluation where they fix a number of fundamentals inside the guest room, in the public space, and at the front door when guests arrive. The second thing is we immerse the staff in an intense training program to reinvigorate their understanding of the Holiday Inn culture and what that means for guest experience. And ultimately, we put in a handful of hallmarks that include the new signage and the identity. Where does that take us? Our goal, we want the same experience at Exit 1 on Interstate 10 or Interstate 270 or the Ohio Turnpike as you get at Exit 75. And we had that once in our history. We don't have that today, and we want to bring that back. The introduction of something called Hotel Indigo, which was the first, what you might call a branded boutique or a lifestyle entry into the lodging category. And kind of what it's all about is we employed retail people to help us define and describe what a lodging experience would be if you thought about it from a retail perspective. Because think about retail for a second. Mm-hmm. They use a lot of renewal, they change seasonally. They move racks around, so your experience is some of the same, but at the same time it's deliberately different. And we have found a way to capture that energy, that excitement, and translate that back into a hotel. And so we landed on this interesting spot where you have this intersection between high style and mainstream appeal and affordability, and out comes Hotel Indigo. We have 12 open today. We have better than 60 under development, and it's been a fun space. And from a guest perspective, against the entire lodging industry, it ranks number 1, 2, or 3 in overall guest satisfaction against every lodging brand you can conceive.
So of all the brands, is Hotel Indigo the one that you're kind of concentrating on now as far as development?
Great question. We are concentrating on the entire portfolio. We today have across the globe just under 4,000 hotels. And in development today, we have well over 1,000 hotels, well over 200,000 guest rooms. Every one of the brands is strong in that pipeline. Holiday Inn's strongest, it's been in 20 years. Holiday Inn Express, well over 600 hotels in the pipeline. Indigo, Candlewood, Staybridge, Crowne Plaza are all positioned. Indigo, Staybridge, and Candlewood will all double their size. Crowne Plaza has been the fastest growing upscale brand now for 3-4 years.